Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and built up a small little pen here for our sniffer, and I'm quite happy with how this turned out. And we've gotten quite a few seeds so far. Only about 10 of our torchflower seeds, but it's a start, and I was never expecting this thing to be all that fast anyway. Not with just one sniffer. But as you can see, we've gone in, done some more decorating here. I swapped out the lime concrete for some moss. Felt it looked a little better than the concrete. I may swap out the light blue concrete for something else as well. And probably the only thing that would be good there would be light blue wool. We'll leave the concrete for now. I do like the little trees with the leaves sticking out there. I really like how that turns out. And I really hope we can manage to find another sniffer to put in there as well so we can get even more sniffers. But today, we are not going to be working on some of the various decorations we still have to do around our basement. And instead, we're going to be working up on top of the island once again. So I need to figure out where we're going to be growing all those torch flowers. Probably in our crop field here. Probably just set aside a small little area for those. But that's going to be a future me problem once we actually have some more torchflower seeds to actually use. So if we head out of our main gate here, we can see that we still have a large area to terraform still. But keep going this way, we will see that we've gotten a good chunk of this part of the island here finished off with our ground terraforming. So this pretty much finishes the front part of the island, I guess. I don't really know which is front and back on this island anymore. Anyway, we've gotten a good chunk of this part of the island done. Haven't gotten anything along the shoreline here because I'm still not sure what I'm going to do for the shoreline. For the forest. Especially with this water here. And I do want to leave the water being a little weird, but I don't know. We'll figure something out at some point. But if we go up on here, we've gotten most of this part of the island in, except for this area over here. And that is because we've got a chicken coop still to build, which we might just throw that together at some point. I don't know. I haven't seen any chickens. I think we've got some eggs. Might be some on the other side of the island. But we also have this space here marked out for an enchanting tower. Or something. I want to put a tower here. There's going to be some sort of overgrown tower here. That's all I've gotten planned so far. We might put an enchanting table up there, but we don't really need an enchanting table anymore since we have the villagers. And also we don't have the levels to really work an enchanting table. So instead we're just going to build a tower up here. I think it'll be kind of nice. Just some sort of abandoned tower out here in the middle of the woods. So we're going to need some stone bricks, some mossy stone brick, maybe some tough bricks. I haven't quite decided yet. Definitely stone bricks and mossy stone bricks. Probably some cracked stone bricks as well. Anyway, we're going to need some bricks. Of which I brought none with me. Alright, so a little bit of work later, and this is a little bit bigger than I was originally planning. So originally this was supposed to be just kind of small little thing like this, and yeah. I started going through here, started trying to put in a staircase through there, and decided it wasn't really working, and tore it out and built it a little bit bigger, quite a bit bigger. But you can see I really like the mix of stones we have going here. Only gone up about 5 blocks so far, because I realized that this thing is going to be really tall if I do my original idea. And as much as I would love to do a really nice wizard's tower here, it's going to stand out quite a bit if we have trees that are just this tall and then a massive, massive tower towering over everything. Especially since our own house is only, what, 10 blocks tall? 8, 10 blocks tall? I don't actually know. I don't think I've counted since we actually built it. 9 if you count the railing. So, having this thing be twice as tall as our own house seems a little too much. I might think about shrinking it back down and trying to redo the staircase. But I kind of like the idea of having a big tower. We're definitely going to have to put trees through here, separate it off from the farm, but I think we're going to have to do that anyway. Still need to figure out the chicken coop here. It's going to be a small little thing to work out. But I kind of like how this is turning out. I need to figure out the floor in here. It's probably going to be oak. We might actually just do the same thing we did for our house here and just do the oak and jungle with the moss and everything else. We might also do stuff in here and break some of this out, make this a little bit more ruined. Which, that's another option. We could do this as a ruin. I'm thinking... let's go up 10 blocks. That way it's not overly tall for this area, and then see how it is. Because right now, it's definitely way too short for its diameter. So, I'm going to build that out, and it might be that we do more of a fortification tower. I don't know, maybe this is to protect from pirates or something. I don't know. Could do something like that. But we still have several more layers here to go if we're going to do something like that. And yeah. So I'm going to get to work on building that up. I'm going to keep bringing the staircase up as we go, just so that it's easier for me to get on top of this wall and do stuff there. Because we are definitely going to end up falling off this thing while we're busy working on it, or just having to go sleep at night too. So, it's going to be nice to actually have a way up and down here. And we can also see how this looks as we bring the layers up. That'll be good. And I do like this little kind of staircase. I need to bring this out. Probably make this 2 blocks wide. Then put some an extra few planks over here so we can put a railing on it. Actually, we'll just use trapdoors. Trapdoors will be easier. Might be a little bit more annoying on some of these spots here, but I'll see about bringing this out another block before we put the trapdoors on, but it might just be just like this. That might actually be fine. So, I've got another few layers of tower to build up, and then I'll be right back. All right, so it's a little bit taller than I was originally planning. I ended up going up to 15 layers. I think that looks about right for the size for just a short little watchtower here. As you can see, I've started getting some of the trees in around here as well. I've actually got all of this peninsula here marked out. Don't have all the terraforming in yet, but we do have, I believe, just about the entire forest area here planned out. We just need to actually put in the few hundred trees or so that we have to do this. But if we look from back over here, it actually doesn't look too bad. Now, I think one thing I might do is we might have a tree coming off the side there, growing out of the side of the wall. I don't quite know. Actually, from back here, that's actually perfect size. You can just barely see it over the top of the trees from the ground here. It actually turned out better than I was expecting, honestly. If we go up to the roof of our house, you can see, yep, there it is. It stands out really well from above the trees. But when you're down there on the ground, I actually hadn't taken a look at it from back here yet. So I'm really liking how that looks. I think that's going to be a good height there. I haven't quite decided what I want to do for the top yet. We do have the staircase all the way up. I just need to figure out the top. Probably going to cover the roof there with some of our oak slabs. Just give us a nice floor up there to work with. And then probably put a parapet, I guess. I haven't really decided too much. Still very much a work in progress, but I think at least a good start. So all that remains for that is a floor, the roof, and the top of the wall. And Of course, maybe a tree or something growing out the side. Always fun to do. So, I'm gonna go get at least the roof and the floors in, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we just went for a very simple top on top of our tower here. Bottom here, we went for kind of the same sort of thing that we did in our little farmhouse there, where it's kind of gotten a little overgrown and such. You put in some moss carpets in here as well. Maybe mix in a little bit of the pale moss. Not too sure. I want this to be a little bit more kept up. I do like the idea of this being kind of overgrown and a little ruined. As you can see, we don't have any holes in the wall yet, just they're putting in trees. I still need to figure out where I want to put those in, how I want to do those, and everything. But we do have the roof top here in. Got a little parapet for this for a more defensive tower look. And you can see a nice ways away from up here. Now, one thing I'm thinking of doing is taking this section out here. See, I haven't really done too much detailing with these top two layers here. So we don't have any cracked stone or mossy stone in. But what I'm thinking is we'll take some stairs and the little parapets here, we'll go and put in those a bit more jutting out. Now, that does mean that we're going to have a small issue here on the corners, but I suppose maybe not. Maybe not. So we'll have to figure out something on the corners, but at least on the middle sections here, this will look very, very nice. At least I think so, anyway. It'll be a much better, more detailed look for the parapet here. I'm kind of happy with how this has turned out. Might have to do some work up here to make this a little bit more run down. So we'll just do that for right now. But I kind of like how that turns out. So let's just go take a quick look at how that looks from down below here. Yeah, that looks a lot better. We definitely need something on the outside there for the top sections there on the corners. Just does not look right with those there. Maybe what we'll do is we'll push them out again. Hard there on the corners because we have to do a whole corner here, and that's going to be difficult to do with the steps. It would be easier if we put it in the middle too, but we currently don't have anything. Maybe that'll look better. I don't know. Yeah, it's something I have to play around with. Might just push those out a block and see how that looks. But all in all, I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. Again, there's still some stuff that needs to be done. Still need to do some work to get the top here detailed and everything else. But I'm kind of liking it. But I think it'll be nice having the trees a little bit higher up on some parts of the tower here. It'll look much nicer. I do like how it sticks up above the forest right now. So I'm not too sure if I want to do trees very high up on this, but definitely some that maybe stick up above the current tree line. So let's take a look at how that looks with all of the side ones in. Yeah, if we do that, we're going to have to do something on the middle there, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. Maybe we'll do a stone brick wall in the middle there and put one on top of that. Might be an option. I'll have to play around with it, see how everything looks. But all in all, I think it looks all right. Again, it's supposed to be a little rundown, but not too much. If I want to do the tree, I think getting the trees around the tower first will be a lot better to do, and then we can see where it really needs a tree and everything else. It'll probably be one of the mangrove trees, I'm thinking, because those have the much more developed roots. But we could do any of them, really. Although the silver birches are more supposed to be more of a straight tree. So, could be a dark oak. But I think the mangrove trees are going to be a lot better because we can do bit more variety in the trunk there. Be hard enough trying to get this to go more diagonally and curved. So, And we'll just have to play around with it, see what we can do. And yeah, we definitely need something in the middle there. But, but I think that that is probably going to be it for today. Again, just need to play around with some ideas here. But again, I think it's coming along. I think it's going to be a very nice addition to the forest here, even if we can barely see it from the entrance to our own little fort part of our house. But I think that despite that, it's going to be a really nice addition. From our roof here, you can see it very clearly over the trees, and it'll be nice to have more little landmark things sticking up that we can see up here. Still need to get the back part of the island in, but all in all, this front part here is starting to come along really, really well. So, with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on this island and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.